Hey, what's up, guys? This is Justin Presidium Edge. Excuse me while I drink my coffee. So, I had a thought. I'm sitting on my front porch, and I wanted to share it with you. There is a lot of people out there that have a really negative perspective on rain. They don't like it. They hate it. It's uncomfortable. It's miserable. It's wet. There's certain things you can't do because it's raining outside. This, that, and the other. So I actually have a very complementary skill set and experience table to draw from for this conversation. And it speaks to a matter of perspective. It speaks to resilience. It speaks to mental and emotional fortitude. On the face of it, does being outside in the rain suck? Yeah, on the face of it. However, it is reality, right? So if we're outside for any length of time, we can't obviously control the weather. There are times in which it will eventually rain. There's a certain training site that we go to, and it's the one training site that we go to that literally every time we go to it, it will rain. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a weather bubble. I don't know if it's God. I don't know what it is. But every time we go to this training location, while we were at this training location, outside, it will rain. Every single time. And there are people that I train with that just absolutely hate it. Well, I don't, and I'll tell you why. Because I learned a lot from my friends. Most of my friends are real hard chargers, and I'm really honored to know them. They've been hit hard with the coronavirus, and they're just not quitting. They're finding new ways to do things. They're adapting and overcoming, and it's a great thing to see. It's wonderful to hear their stories of just not quitting. And on that note, failure is acceptable. Puking is acceptable. Coughing is acceptable. Dying is acceptable. Quitting is not. But anyway, it's raining. There's a lot of people with a lot of real negative connotations about it. And I get it. However, I feel like those people are not taking into account the positives that come with rain. Rain has been around since before we were ever on this planet. It's older than us, and it does more than we think it does. It does more than we can fit into our brains at the time. Because typically all we do is we focus on the effect that rain has on us in the moment. So yes, you're outside, you're standing in the rain, and it's raining on you, and it sucks. And that's about all you do with it. In that moment, you don't really think about the fact that without the rain, you would probably die of thirst before you starve to death. But both of those things would eventually come to fruition. You gotta have rain. It's absolutely necessary. Now, rain is life. It provides water. It grows your food. It sustains the wildlife that feeds you. Rain is everything. It swells the rivers and tributaries. It creates fresh water. I don't know if you know this or not, but most of the continental land masses on the planet are surrounded by salt water, which is completely undrinkable. How do you get fresh water? Well, fresh water flows from inland to the oceans. It doesn't go the other way, typically. So how do you get fresh water? You get fresh water from rain. See, rain is actually just filtered water. So everybody knows what the water cycle is. It gets evaporated, turns into a gas, gets picked up, stored in a cloud, moved somewhere else, and dumped out. Well, the process inside that is what creates fresh water, which is wonderful for us. rain is a positive thing, but you have to make yourself see the positive. Kind of like in life. Any negative thing happens to you. Your car doesn't start, let's go with your car doesn't start. We'll start with that one. Your car doesn't start. Can't get to work. You can't go to the grocery store. You can't drive your kids to school. Like, all those are negative consequences of your car not starting. What's a positive consequence of your car not starting? You have the opportunity to practice how to fix your car not starting. You get to practice a skill. You get to diagnose a problem. You get to learn how to fix that problem. Now, yeah, those are esoteric and changing the way that you think, and like you gotta really look at that in a certain way to see the positives in your car not starting randomly. Your car doesn't start, so you call your boss and say, "Hey, I can't make it to work." Well, the positive to that is you don't have to go to work. You get a day off. You get to relax. Now, what you do with that day is up to you. Do you go fix your car? Do you do some yoga? Do you hang out with the wife? What do you do? What do you do? Maybe you fix your car and you go on to work late. Who knows? But there are multiple outcomes to every situation. It's not just, and this is what I think a lot of us think about with the whole, like, let's just ride this car not starting example as the theme for a minute. So your car doesn't start, and all we think about is the fact that we can't get to work, we can't do this, we can't do that, we can't do this, we can't do that. We don't think about the fact that because our car didn't start, we have the opportunity to learn or practice how to fix our car. We don't think like that. We also don't think about the fact that because our car didn't start and we can't get to work, there's a possibility that there are other things that we can do today that we weren't going to be able to do by going to work at that moment. And even more than that, we can call somebody to come fix our car so we ain't got to do it ourselves. The fact that that option exists tells us that we are in a good spot in society. But we don't think like that. I'm going to take a break, and we're gonna continue this thought pattern of perspective, and then I'm going to talk about some general preparedness things that we have to do to adapt to reality in wet weather. And I'm going to end the video talking about wet weather preparedness, and because it is, in my area, it's the rainy season right now, before the snow season or cold season in winter. But so I'm going to talk about some wet weather preparedness and kind of what I do just to make sure I'm ready. I'm going to tell you why that is and where it comes from, which is a really, really interesting thing about my area. Anyway, I'm going to take a break. We're going to grab a thing from our sponsor, which is my voice on Anchor, telling you how Anchor is awesome, because it is. But anyway, we'll be right back. Sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, because it is raining outside. And we'll be right back. Thanks.